Hey everyone, welcome back. Today we are hopping on board as we are now in the third map of the Minnesota vs. LA Guerrillas series. So we are playing Hackney Yard Domination. So this is the first one that I'm breaking down for Domination. The Chicago vs. Dallas Domination from earlier is coming up tomorrow. That was a heck of a match. I can't wait to upload that one. Now, before we get into what's actually happening on screen, the strategy here is you want to hold down A and B. You want your enemy to spawn at C, and you just want to cut them off. So you want to cut out the flank over by black, that back yellow spawn. You want to cut off the flank over by green and just hold them back there by CDOM. So in terms of spawns, right now, LA doesn't necessarily have the better spawn, the one that you would prefer. So we'll see if they're able to get into B here, get some kills, and flip this around. But as of right now, Minnesota is doing exactly what you want to do. You want to hold down A and B. You want to spawn them at C, and you don't want them to get out of that spawn trap. So we'll see if it ends up working here, but it looks like there's about to be a triple cap, and this, I don't like this at all. So they didn't cap it, but I don't like this play here from Minnesota, because if you triple cap, then what you're going to do is you're going to allow them to get out of this spawn. So it's more important to hold down A and B than it is to try for a triple cap. So Minnesota going for that triple cap, all they did is they allowed LA out of that side, and now they just gave LA the better side. So now as you're trying to get into B dom from A dom, you're going to have an easier time controlling two flags than you would have if you just would have held steady with the two flags. Now, with that said, Minnesota does still have two flags, so they are still building up a bit of a lead. But like where Aches is right here, him being up in top L, if they can get top L and bottom L control, then essentially they can cut them off from getting inside of B. And then you can overtake B, exactly what Decimate's doing right here. So now what Guerrillas has to focus on is they have to focus on that flank coming from the right side of the map. So Silly is the only one that seems to be left over there. It does look like he was traded out by Saints. And this is exactly what you can't have happen. This is a fatal error for Minnesota. We'll see if they're able to fight back from this, but you can't do that. You have to just hold down the two flag advantage and just keep the enemy team over at that opposite flag, over at CDOM, and just play it that way. So as we are right now, those are big kills. Assault with a big kill on BDOM. So they are, for the moment, holding down C and B, but the problem is that it's really hard to spawn trap a team back in ADOM just because there's so many different ways that you can get out of ADOM. So we'll see how this ends up going. Assault on a 5 spree. Nice kills from him. Right now, the map is just kind of all spread out. There are people. You can just saw that somebody died over underneath that bottom third hard point for LA. LA just spawned up in C, so they did spawn out. So whoever that is in speed, they're spawning by yellow. Somebody has to go take C. Right now, the rest of those two LA players are going to go head in towards B, and they're trying to flip this again. So if Minnesota is lucky here, and if they're fortunate to do exactly what they had to begin with, they're going to overtake A and B and spawn LA at C. And this is nice, but you just want to hold this. Don't try to do too much. Just hold down these two, get control of top L and bottom L, and don't let them push out of green, and you're going to end up winning this map easily. So in the minimap in the bottom left-hand corner, I'm just trying to see what's going on. It does look like LA has an advantage in B, but there are 3 Minnesota players mid-map. My guess would be that they're probably going to be able to overtake this, but maybe not. That guy up top was called out from behind, and right now LA has been killed in and around B, and it looks like they're spawning back at their flag. So nice kills there from Aches. There was a 3-piece for Minnesota, but it looks like that middle flag is just going to end up being neutralized. Nobody really has advantage of it yet. So if you're Minnesota, there's about a minute 40 left in this game, and right now nobody's making up any points. So they're not growing their lead at all, but they're not giving it up at all either. So in terms of this, that was a pretty decent hold. We'll see if they're able to get this. They got it like 3/4 of the way. Then a 4-piece comes in. Lacefield gets 2. Decimate gets 2. That's a nice kill by GodRx. We'll see if he can clutch up here. There is another one top L. He ends up going down. So we're still in the same place, and this is going to finish off the cap. So now just relax. Get control. Try to push up here. If you're Minnesota, try to push up top L, bottom L. Hold the right flank over by bottom green, and just don't let them out. So we'll see what they end up doing. I don't really like that push either. I don't know. It just seems like a lot of mistakes, a lot of simple mistakes Minnesota are making. If you're an SMG player and you come out that bottom L door and you see somebody really far away and you start getting shot by an M4, why are you challenging? Just back off, go back inside of B-Dom, and then just wait, just live to see another day. Nice kills mid-map there. So this is the spawn kill that you're looking for. The only thing that Minnesota could be doing better is they could be pushed up a little bit, but it's really not going to hurt them. That's a nice head glitch. That's a nice kill from Lacefield, although I'm not really sure how he got killed, how he got a kill with a nade there since they just threw a trophy down. I don't know if it had something to do with the angles in which the nade came in, but it does look like at the moment they're about to give up B. So it is going to go back. Maybe nades are flying in like crazy, so they're not yet. There's only 8 seconds left, so it really doesn't matter anyways. They are able to get an extra tick there, so I doubt that'll end up being what turns the map in the favor of one team or another. But first round, a pretty decent performance there. I do think there were a couple mistakes. I feel like whoever was bottom L, you didn't have to challenge that. I think that was ASIM. You don't have to challenge that. Just back up, play bottom L, and then win those gun battles when you're in that close quarter combat since you have the SMG. And then don't push for a triple cap. I know it's so tempting. These guys start playing so fast that they just want to get a triple cap so bad, but just leave it alone. Hold down A and B. Trap your enemy at C. It'll be the easiest thing, the easiest domination win you could ever have. So now we have flipped sides. So Minnesota has the bad spawn, which you can see Alex coming over here towards bottom green. He's trying to flip immediately. There's somebody else with him. So there are two purple arrows over on the left side towards green. They are able to get 1, 2 dead. And it does look like that push was thwarted, so there's nobody else over there towards ADOM. So big kills here from assaults, and they're not able to overtake. There are 3 purple arrows right around BDOM. Doesn't look like they're able to finish that. So this is the start that you want if you're LA. You have A control, you have B control, and you are pushed up a little bit. Assault with a nice 2-piece on Saints and Layfield right at top L. So they lost L control, but again, that's not the end of the world. I wonder if they know. I think right now they do. So there was somebody pushed up trying to flip that. He was just waiting for some help from his teammates, but they didn't end up coming through. So the thing that I don't like about Domination is that there's really just one strategy. So if we're talking about hardpoint, every 60 seconds there's a new strategy that you're really fighting over. Whereas when it comes to Domination, it's just, especially on this map, hold down A, hold down B, spawn trap at C, don't let them out of yellow or green, and you're probably going to end up winning. So with 4 minutes and 30 seconds left, that's exactly what you're seeing right now. But ASIM is pushed up. So he was able to neutral it, and then what happened there is that obviously there's a bunch of people that's drawn on him. So right now he's just trying to get this kill. This would be a clutch kill if he can kill Decimate right there. I doubt he knows that Saints is behind him, and he ends up getting traded out. So he wasn't able to flip spawns there, but that was a nice effort. Either way, 30-point lead here. So essentially what needs to happen is you can make up 12 points every minute. So if you have a 1 flag advantage, you can make up 12 points every minute. So if it's a 30-point lead, you have to have this control if you're LA for at least 2.5 minutes and able to make that time up. So right now they have plenty of time. If they just hold 2 flags, they have plenty of time to go ahead and overtake this lead and win this map. And with a 2-map advantage already, actually, wait, this is something we didn't touch on. In that search and destroy, LA was up 2-0, but somebody used an illegal object. Somebody used something that they weren't supposed to use, weren't allowed to use, and it ended up getting called out. So that map was actually reversed. So it should be 0-2 with an LA lead, so a 2-0 LA lead. So this would be the last map if they're able to hold on to this, but somebody got called out. So that's why it says at the top middle that the match is tied 1-1. And that's just, to me, honestly, using something that's not allowed to be used in search and destroy, that is absolutely inexcusable. You really only see that like once or twice a year. So bad play out of them. But we'll see if they're able to come back for it. They've been in control of this match so far, so we'll see what happens. Now, as we are right now, Minnesota does have control of C and B. This is probably going to end up being overturned. It's just so hard to hold down B if you're coming from the other side because there are those 2 choke points. It's just so hard to hold down. So B is going back the other way. And we're about at that 2.5 minute mark. So as long as they hold these two flags, they are going to end up winning. But we'll see if they're able to hold on to it. Right now, if you look at the mini map, the arrows are kind of pushed up. So this is exactly what you need to do. If you're LA, you don't want to hold back in B and just kind of wait and hopefully you can win a team gun battle inside of B. You do want to push up. So if you were looking at the mini map, they have a couple pushed up into green, and they did have a couple in top L. And I think that person went down. That's the problem that I have with third person in this CODcaster mode that they're playing currently, is that as soon as somebody goes third person, you lose the mini map in the bottom left-hand corner. So you can't see what's going on with rotations or whatnot. But if you look at the scoreboard in the left-hand side, 4 just went down for LA, but they've battled back. Aches with the big 2-piece, Aqua, Decima, each got 1. So this is a pretty good battle here at mid-map. However, if you're LA, you have to get that center flag. That center flag has been neutraled for the last minute or so, and if they don't get control of that, then they can't overtake this lead. So right now, they can make up 16 points. There's a minute and a half left. They can make up 16 points by having a 1 flag advantage, so it's not going to be enough. At some point in time, they are going to need a triple cap. So on C, they just neutraled that. So with that neutral, they are able to win this. If you're Minnesota, you do have to get in and capture a flag here. So this, I think this is where it's going to turn. So Minnesota's going to get A. Minnesota's probably going to get B. 4 go down. So that was a valiant effort. That was a great effort out of LA, but it's just not going to be enough. They went ahead as they sold out for C. Somebody flanked behind A from Minnesota. They were also able to capture B. And with a minute left, again, in a minute, you can only make up 12 points. So if you're down by 14, you have to have a triple cap, and it's just not going to happen. Kills are coming in on B-Dom. Alex gets a 5 spree. He just got a triple in the kill feed, and that's essentially going to be all she wrote. So these last 35 seconds are essentially going to be a formality unless somehow they're able to get a triple cap, which, I mean, it's probably not going to happen since Minnesota especially is pushed up into B. So that was a good effort. I just think that pushing out towards that triple cap might have happened a little bit early for LA. They should have just focused on holding down A and B, trapping them at C, and that should have been their mindset moving forward. This triple cap doesn't even matter that they were going for. So with that, with about 8 seconds left, this map is actually going to go, this match is going to go 2-1 in favor of Minnesota when they should have been down 0-2 going into this match with their backs against the wall. So now with that forfeit, they're up 2-1, and that's a pretty well-played domination map. There were some mistakes made, but again, domination, it's not my favorite just because of the fact that there's one strategy per map, and it's just a tug of war basically the entire match trying to overtake that one strategy. I wish right now that they would show you the scoreboard so you could see like who slayed out, who did well, who did poorly, stuff like that. But we're not there yet, and that's okay. So with that, guys, if you're new around here, make sure you hit that subscribe button. I'm here all weekend uploading matches from every single one of the matches with my analysis, so make sure you hit that subscribe button. Don't leave without leaving a like, and I will catch you guys in the next one. Thanks so much for your support. We'll see you.